All right, going live a couple minutes early. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you very much for doing that. If it's your first time, feel free to skip ahead. There's probably going to be some bullshitting around at the beginning of every one of these VODs that you see me in the thumbnail of. What else do we have? Yeah, well, if you're watching a VOD, usually it takes a few minutes for people to get in here. Some days it's faster than others. If you wind up liking what you see, hit subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. And we try to reply to, or at least recognize, comments when people put them in there. We find them very encouraging. Thank you very much for doing it. Hey BDC, what is up? Cool. I just restarted my machine, so let me make sure I've got latest. I should, but let me check one more time. Cool. All right. Let me open up Unity. Hey Zemus. Talet. Hello. Warlin. Hello. Fat Poops. Hello. Chaz Solo. Hello. Quicksana. Hello. Paddis. Hello. Dark Inside, hello. Dark Inside said, got my new RTX 3060 the other day. Works fantastic for game dev. Much better with the 12 gigs of VRAM. Cool. Glad to hear that's working out for you. Pattis, I may have questions for you if you're around, because I'm gonna hop right into Telekir propping. So. Droop. Hello. Proppin' and poppin'. Prop work and pop work. Propa. Yeah, no worries, Pattis. I assume that you've got chillins that you're dealing with. Your students. Boric, hello. Hey, John. Whoa, I'm getting blasted. Radiated. There we go. Pattis, are like boxes and barrels and stuff, are they good to use in here? Do they need to be added to the list of things to be turned into into prefabs? Are the props models made from the team or placeholders bought? Everything should be made by us. Some of it looks a little more placeholder made by us than others, but. Hey, Blue. Yeah, what I mean by some of it's more placeholder than others. There's some pretty janky shit that I made early on that's laying around. Like there's a really silly looking wagon and stuff that I made a long time ago. While I'm in here, let me go ahead and load up. Oh, I don't need to. It's already over here. Enable. Wacky streams, the game is not ready yet for you, but just for you. And John. While you're still here, Pattis, Have you had a chance to make the little bushy grass into a prefab? When is the next beta? We have no idea when beta is going to be. But if you're asking when is the next playtest, we're unsure. But it probably won't be like horribly distant in the future. But it may or may not be another surprise. BDC Retro says, I recently read about a game that had the default dev texture said something like you suck at game dev, so that if anyone ever came across it after release, they would know the devs messed up and forgot to update the texture. You missed one on July 4th, Wacky Streams. We cheated you out of one on July 4th. What? You did what? How dare you? Yeah, how dare us? Yeah, it was a test for us really to see if we could do a surprise playtest during a stream, and it worked out pretty good. So we'll probably do more because we like having them too, you know. It's fun for us seeing you guys come in and have a good time. Are we going to see any secrets here? Probably not. Probably not. You're just going to see me place some props around, maybe adjust some spawns. Keep in mind, anything I'm doing in here is liable to be adjusted by the other people at some point. You know, we'll be tuning and iterating and stuff. That sort of thing. So, no, probably not many secrets though. I don't know that there's any secret areas and that I'm going to be doing any secrets. I mean, there may be details that you're like, oh, wow, okay. It's kind of cool to be privy to that detail. And I'd be, yeah, I'm glad you're into it. And that's pretty cool. But I don't know if it's a secret per se. Doom, doom, doom. Let me see. I need to make a... I want to make a parent for this. Create empty parent. Yeah, I just want to rename you. Torches. Make another empty parent. Front area. EQ servers are down. You might get some new faces today. Hermit Craig, thank you for the warning. If that winds up being the case, if you guys spot a bunch of new faces in here, be sure to let me know. And what we could do is maybe show off a little bit of the game later. But those of you that have been around here forever, then you probably don't want to see me run through the same old shit. I'm trying to follow like a system here and employing these PATIS. But apologies if I'm not doing it good for you. Everything Sean says, I read way too much in. Read into way too much.
I like the same old shit.
Then you're in the right place, Ishiwatari. Vielen Dank für 29 Monaten. Monaten? Ja, Monaten. Vielen Dank. 29. Ist doch ein bisschen viel. What in the world? Why aren't you letting me select? Unity, get it together. Get your shit together, Unity. Can y'all just hear the music okay? If I'm coming into this with a little bit more energy than usual, I had a wonderful, like, half a can of Monster. What is going on, man? I had a wonderful, like, half a can of Monster. What's the mango one? Like Mango Loco or something? Are we making the new Black Bro? Hypernuva. I'm not going to say Nova because you got two V's. This place is... Have you not seen this zone before? You might be startled at how close your guess is. This is the Ashira dungeon. The Ashira are the humanoid jackals that you've been fighting in the newbie art and stuff. Those of you that have actually made it in here. Don't know why I keep selecting that spawner. Automod said, held a message for a reason. Aggression. Allow to post to chat. Allow. What was the message? BB Girl said, sup, ready to murder these fools soon. We'll allow that. We'll allow it. Which fools are you going to murder? If it's actual fools and you're actually going to murder them, then we may actually have to not have that happen. When a spawner is open, it makes selecting props super annoying. Ah, maybe we need to set up an issue for that and figure out what's up. What's going on with that. Alright, well then we're going to get them out of the way for now. Because you are 100% correct. That is super annoying. I'm going to put in some active torches here on torch holders. We can replace this with something that looks more specific to these guys later, or if we just get like another couple of generic torches on torch holders that, you know, we use for different purposes, we can replace them here or whatever. Or we can just be okay with it, because again, one of the things that we're shooting for is we're shooting for making a game that we can release. So making every asset completely unique to every dungeon is not how we're going to release a game. It's how we're going to spend our time making new shit constantly and not finishing the game. So those of you out there in the audience that are like, I've seen that torch before. Yeah, you probably have, but you know what? It's going to be okay. Put on your imagination suits when you're playing and just pretend like it's an entirely new area specific torch that you've never seen before. And be pleased with it. What about the torch that's blue? That's a special torch. We'll probably put some empty torch holders in here as well, so you can so it's a little bit easier to see. I wonder, you know what we could do with the torch holders that make them a little bit better than having the torch in your hand? One, you don't have to have it in your hand, so that's handy. But maybe have them last a little bit longer when they're in a torch holder and make them a bit brighter. Then that'd be a good benefit to putting your torches in a torch holder. How long do torches work in the torch holders? These forever. Hey Zukin, what's going on, dude? The ones that you put it in there, that's something we can control with there's a variable in the database that or a parameter in the database that we can play with. So it might be worth making them last longer when they're in the when you put your torch in a torch holder. I think that'd be a cool benefit. We'll have to see if these are too big. Let me make a note. I write all these notes down over here and then I forget to look over here all day until I start streaming. I'm like, oh shit, there's some really good notes here. Torch holder longer, stronger. I need to get more of these Monster Energy drinks before streams. I'm on fire. BB Girl said 100% been collecting a dozen torches and filling all those constants in the room to see if it's a way to unlock a secret door. Mm-hmm. As long as I can train others, I'm fine with whatever you put on the wall. You can train people. Lantern holders will eventually be a thing too, I bet. Blue. Hyper, you can train people. I would say that after you do it enough times and we catch you, then we'll probably warn you and then eventually ban you. But you can definitely train people. I mean, the possibility exists in this game. The game's full of possibilities. Boric asks, random question, does anyone else's game freeze when at server select and try to quit? Well, given that no one can get into the game, I don't think you're going to get many responses. No, but when I check if the light is on, then I then freeze and have to force exit. Yeah, in that situation, I don't know what to tell you. It could be you should just wait for the notification. But I think when I use the client, I run into that problem as well, though. I think if I was to dig into the DB, it's probably a known issue. Probably, maybe. Sounds like you guys are going to use an old school aggro system. We are using something. We are currently using an aggro system that feels very old school, yes. Though one of the things that I think would be neat to add is, and I was talking to First about this a little bit, is the idea of having two layers of aggro. And we've talked about this on the team, a bit previously, but it's this idea of having like a pre-aggro where if you come within the first range, so we can set 2 volumes. When you come within the first volume, it can trigger different events. So it may be something where we just use it, and it's something where we can specifically state what we want to happen when they enter that first volume, if anything. But you enter the first volume, and a guard could say something like, "Hey, you there? Stand back," right? Because the guard already knows, like, I'm going to kill you. Or it could do a check and say, like, yeah, essentially, or hey, what is that sound, right? And look around, and then when you get within range, it's like and attacks you, right? So, but once it attacks you, Hyper, I think to what you're saying, the point you're probably thinking of or whatever is, we're not doing any leashing or anything like that. We may find need for special instances of leashing later, you know, like maybe if we got something we don't want to leave a room or whatever. But for the most part, it's just like, it's coming to get you, and it's going to follow you all the way to the zone line. You're going to start trains. You're going to get killed when you zone in for no damn reason. Yeah, so the first layer would be more for like RP purposes, but there's gameplay value, right? It's not just pure RP. It's like we can convey certain information. So we like to mix gameplay with our RP. What if a player requests leashing and a spanking? I don't know. That's a pretty high tier Patreon. Is this music a game asset? This music is made by our wonderful Robert. If you didn't see it, it'll still be on. It's not on YouTube yet, but it will be on Twitch. Last Thursday's stream was with Robert, talking about his background and how he got into games and music and how he found us and all that good stuff. So I recommend it. Hey Enoch. Hey Kilrain. Blue Queen of Dragons, thank you for the follow. Were you not following before? Did it unfollow? Did it force unfollow you? Frickin' Twitch trying to shadow ban me. Apparently I wasn't following, but had you subbed. That happens sometimes. People come in here, they get so excited, they're like, holy shit, and they subscribe straight out the gate. Give me that Prime or whatever it is, and then they totally forget that they're not following. Lights. It doesn't do what I was thinking. Pray I win the $1 billion Powerball this weekend so I can fully fund you guys. Enoch. Go with God, my child. Telling you guys, no bullshit. You happen to stumble into a few $100 million where we only want a tiny percentage of that, and you will be potentially a very dear friend of ours moving forward. If you accept our terms and conditions. which means we will take your money, but we are not going to take any of your bullshit. Yushu says, hey guys, sorry if this is a poor question, but I had trouble explaining the game recently. How would you describe the difference between playing old school EQ and MM, or should I not try to explain that? You can try to explain it. So, one way to explain it is to say that we've been looking at a lot of the systems that we felt made games like EQ or UO unique. Games of that era really still felt a bit more rooted in the concept of having a lot more RPG in their MMORPG and derived a lot more from kind of the mud era of interaction and sense of world, sense of place. Put more emphasis on things like more agency for the player, where you could grind faction or find little hooks to basically play the game more the way you wanted. And what we're looking at is taking all of the systems that we like and making them a lot deeper, and really putting more emphasis on areas of the game that we felt were underdeveloped in the past. So the idea is, well, like what we're doing right now, this dungeon is an Ashira dungeon, but it's also our first experiment with a monster city. So if you wanted to use something like the EQ example, there's a banker in Runny-Eye, but you really couldn't faction up and do much else in Runny-Eye, right? Or there's a merchant at the Aviax, right? KFC, but you really couldn't. There really wasn't much going on there where you could faction up and do much with them. Look at trade skill depth. Look at the integration of things like housing and mounts and player transport, right? Like the idea is to really create a sense of place and make it feel more like a living world. Time of day, season, lunar cycle, all of that shit. Weird, unusual activities, things like our mud commands. I don't know, Yushu, if you're familiar with it. But we have the ability to have you interact with the world through like a series of slash commands, different verbs, right? So you can inspect something and pull it and taste it and rub it. I mean, it's kind of like Baldur's Gate 3. There's a lot of pulling and tasting and rubbing going on in our game. And I think if somebody asks like, what's the biggest differentiator between like M&M and the MMOs of yesteryear that you've played before and you really liked, I would say that there's all of what you liked about the old MMOs with a lot more tasting and pulling and rubbing. So that's probably worth the $15. Turn up, thank you for 35 months. Couldn't find the words for it. Appreciate it. Yep, the words are taste, pull, rub. And just put a slash in front of it. Slash pull, slash taste, slash rub. Do you guys prefer a meaningful item, even at low level, that you keep for a long time, or a new way? I'm going to answer this twice. I'm going to say meaningful items, and then I would say just often when you think, do we prefer new or old? Typically default's going to be old, unless there's certain quality of life things with like interface or interaction that we might prefer over old, but we like a lot of the old stuff. $15? Yeah, probably. We're going to try. So our goal is to make a game that you're willing to pay $15 for. We'll see if we achieve that. If we're like, we land at 10, then yeah, whatever, buy a t-shirt. Bilbo said, I've heard another thing that sets apart those old school games is their design was meant to allow you to live a life in the world, which is rarely, if ever, attempted again. Yeah, and that's a big deal to us. You're in your world now. How many zeros for a custom item for yourself? Oh, that'd be a lot of zeros. Hey, Cotswold. Think having old items be combined with new items can add value to old stomping grounds. Yeah, and maybe old items that break down to be used in trade skill for new items and stuff like that. The old bone chip economy was just brilliant, and that's, I mean, I think that's such a great example of like really the items that really maintain their longevity in terms of value in a game like EQ. Shoes, you're very welcome for the responses. That is what I'm here for. Kinda. I went through the walls and I got lost. Crap. Where am I? I was trying to be down here. No, down here. Further down here. Further down here. Well, shit, now I'm back out. I'm in the wrong spot. Where is that spot? Pattis. Came in here, went here, went here. Nope, that's not it. This will be me for the entirety of my playing. Oh, it's down here. My playing the game. I am perpetually lost. Always. I could tell it was frustrating for Nick because I'd always just be lost. He's like, how are you lost again? We've literally made 20 different tunes who have gone to unrest. A month or for the full game? A month. A month. We are not charging you for the box, but we are charging you for each month. Hey Sparrow. Yeah, but I'm always lost in every dungeon first. Was I a lieutenant? No, I was enlisted in the army. If that's what you're asking. See lots of torch holders. Is there plans to be able to bring larger amounts of torches easily to dungeons or make them while you're down there? Make them while you're down there is a thing. And then we'll have to look at carrying capacity and we'll be doing some balance passes on, you know, inventory and carry capacity for certain item types and stuff. Haven't been able to check out the stream for a while. This dungeon area has some nice soul vibes. Nice, Cotswold. We'll take it. We appreciate it. File. Okay. I did that just because sometimes I hit Control S and I feel like it didn't do. So let me try something real quick. Let me close this out before... I'm going to come in here and grab some other stuff later. Some boxes and... Whoa. Oh, you guys... Oh, man. Have you seen it? Should I show it? Do you guys want to see something really cool? You're going to see it at the latest, you're going to see it in this month's update. So I might as well show you now. You want to see something really cool? For real. Do you think you'll have a scavenge skill in the vein of forage, but for base materials for camping torches? Mortis, haven't thought about scavenge. Because we're doing that in some other... We've got a survival skill. Maybe we tie that in as like a skill within the survival skill path. Hey, Vantaleon. All right, so I'm gonna show you something really cool, but you gotta promise not to tell anybody that I showed you, so I don't get in trouble. Then again, if I should have asked Erkenstaff if he's going to be streaming anytime soon. Oh, wow. It looks pretty awesome floating around in the water down there. Don't worry, there will be variants. There will definitely be variants. Oh man, did you see? Watch the pupil. Watch the pupil. Well, pupil and the iris. Swimming in the ocean, best sailing drops ever. Ocean always burns my eyes. It has bags under its eye. Oh my god, that's a good one. Really good animation for it. Does the eye roll back in its head when it dies? Echo, I don't know if it rolls back. Let me see if there's death animation that I can find up here. So our wonderful Erkenstaff. Yeah, it kind of rolls, but it's like half. So that's pretty cool. Yep. Death animation, right. Needs to shoot lasers? Yes. But yeah, so if you see Erkenstaff streaming, definitely hop on and see what he's doing. So Erkenstaff, he made that eye and textured the eye, if I'm not mistaken, and animated the eye. So he was on our list and he was like, hey, can I do that? And like, yep, you can do that. John was just giving me tips on faster workflow with these torches. So blah blah blah. You can right click on the object in the hierarchy, set it as default parent, and then drag torch holder prefabs in from the project window to the scene. It says default parent. Does it look different when I do that? I guess it sticks out a little bit. Let me unset that. Clear default parent. Let me go here. It says default parent. And then I guess I can just... Huh. I don't understand. I'll keep an eye out for... An anonymous gifter is just giving out 10 tier 1 gift subs to you guys. That's badass. Thank you, anonymous person. I remember I did some anonymous gifting in the past. It's really fun. It brings joy very, very selflessly. Jamino, Chinny D, Enoch, Lasvik, Curse word, Casimo, Indefinite, Callahan, A Confused Cyborg, and Droop. Congrats. Pilgrim said in this case, default parent should be front area. Oh, it says default parent. But then, which you said, no. But then what do I drag? I'm confused again. You may have to draw me a diagram. or rather in the hierarchy. Or rather than drag in the torch holder prefab from the project window rather than the scene view. Ah, rather than hierarchy. Okay. But then I would need to look it up again. So let me try it while I'm here just so I know what I'm doing. Torch holder. Boom. Okay, that makes absolute sense now. That makes a ton of sense. What? Blue. Don't tell me that. It'll make me nervous. Do you ever get nervous? All right, so let me actually get out of here and find Telekir. Oh wait, no, let me find zone. Well, that's not very helpful. Let me tell YouTube I'm still listening. And then let's get in here. Let's not CS zone. We're not going to save the last changes. Thanks, John. That actually helps. Should be able to hop in now. A little drinking ASMR for you. And if you don't want to constantly look stuff up in the project window in the future, or if you have a lot of different prefabs you want to be able to drag in quickly, you can use window dev palette to create a little palette where you keep objects for quick dragging. Are you kidding me right now? Window dev palette. What? All right, we're going to play with this in a minute. Between the stream and the team, it's amazing how quickly you can learn a new tool set. I remember when you guys taught me how to use Blender. It was pretty awesome of you. Thank you. We're still using shit that I made in Blender 2.5 years ago. Those of you that may be new to the stream or whatever, be sure to check out our YouTube. I was just thinking about it because we're going to come up on the 3-year mark in a few months, and check out... Oh, is my robot not working? Let me check my chat bot and see why he's not doing anything. I probably need to reauthorize or whatever. Yeah, Pattis is having to actually make that geo work now. Sorry. Sorry, Pattis. Generate token. They made this a lot easier. So thanks for that. Streamlabs. Streambot. Connect. Yes. Generate token. Authorize. Connect. Perfect. Let's try that again. So YouTube? Yeah, so go to our YouTube and check out the 2-year retrospective. We'll have to make a year 3 retrospective soon. A lot of progress in this last year. The first year, if you go back and you watch that that video, it's about 6 minutes, but it's really worthwhile. I say, if I say so myself, I guess is how you say that. So the retrospective shows essentially just how simple everything was, and people ask like, did you use assets and blah blah blah. You can see we've been making our own shit since day one, so you can see some hints of that and maybe find some old VODs and kind of see. Hey, Brown Butcher. Yeah, today, oh, Maze. As my mother would say, don't start. Don't come in here pulling all that nonsense you do in Discord, Maze. I will get on you. Today we're doing a little bit of propping and maybe a little bit of base popping. A little bit of struggling with the UI. Okay. So, invulnerable, aggro off. Pop it and prop it, exactly. Maze. Lizardmen in the update look good. Yeah, there's a lot of love for Lizardmen. I think I mentioned in the update that Zukin is a huge Lizardman fan. So if we don't have lizards on day one, we're gonna dedicate an entire expansion to lizards. That'll be a unique new idea. What? What's going on here? Unique new idea. And we'll dedicate it to Zukin. Pattis and or John, why would the torches not be there? It's not like I put them in as torch holder statics. Wonder if the light's doing anything. Time set. Boom. Guess not. And I shouldn't have to like reload zone, but I will. Hyper asks, what's the scale of world you're aiming to get at launch in terms of number of zones, startup cities, etc.? As many as we can. We were just chatting about that a little bit earlier today. Don't have a number for you yet. The runes of Zukinark. Yeah, seems original. Hebrew Hammer said, man, this feels like Blackborough and EC had a beautiful baby. Wait till you see the rest of it. Okay. Let's figure out what's wrong here. Let's look at something in scene view. Interesting. Oh, you know what? I think I was placing the wrong torch. I was placing maybe the static version of it. Hey. What can you do as a developer to keep data mining to a minimum? What would be awesome to have quests and hidden items, creatures in game that aren't data mined before being released. I mean, I guess the short answer is just be diligent on making sure that, well, first of all, the data is not going to reside on your client, and then the yeah. But I mean, people are going to figure stuff out. They're just going to figure things out. It's going to happen. They're going to figure it out during testing. They're going to figure it out quickly. All right, so I've placed the wrong statics, I guess. What are these guys? Or the wrong prefabs. But that's weird. I don't see anywhere here where it would define it as different. Yeah, we can bulk replace, but I'm just curious. Let's play with this palette. Select a palette. If you don't have any palette assets, you can create a new one with the new button above, or by right-clicking on your project and selecting. If I do this, where should I save this? Now what would I do? Okay. Seems logical enough. Prefabs. All right, torch holder. Does this torch holder seem different than that torch holder? It does. Oops. It's been a while since I've done any sort of replace here, so I don't remember. How long do place torches last? I'd have to look in data. I thought it was... For some reason, I thought it was 5 minutes, but that seems too short. We were talking about, before you came in here, Maze, the idea of potentially making it so that place torches are incentivized by lasting a bit longer than the tools replace prefab. Will that work in this case? Replace with prefab. I guess that worked. Let's try it out. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, Maze. We were talking about potentially incentivizing. I'm gonna ask the team what they think, but incentivizing place torches and torch holders by having them last a bit longer than held torches and be a little bit brighter. It's a little gamey, but maybe that sort of thing is fair. Oops, that's not what I'm wondering. I'm wondering here. Bilbo said, it's logical that a torch you aren't waving around is going to burn more efficiently. I don't know if that's true, but it sounds damn good. I'll take that argument. Oxygen is fuel, but more oxygen means faster burning, which means goes out sooner. So I think Bilbo wins. Lots of logical things aren't true, so it might be wrong. I'll take logic over facts. Well, Maze, one of these days... One of these days we'll tune these a bit. The torch holder prefab that you're placing has an animator on it that disables the torch, so I'm guessing the prefab that was used by a static system may not be meant to be placed directly. Ah, shit. So, I thought that I discovered that and then picked the right one. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on with the Darth Vader and the Shadows situation. Ollie's created a new set of... Oh, that is Ollie. Ollie's been working on shaders. And something weird's going on. That asshole Ollie. I wasn't gonna say that. I wasn't gonna say that. Honest Ollie. Alright, so let's try this one more time. I thought I fixed it. Alright, so this, you're right, this does have an animator on it. So let's find another torch in prefabs that is the actual torch. Statics. Torch 1, torch 2, torch no flicker. Alright. Maybe this is it? What's it got on it? What was it? Tools. Replace with prefab. Torch 1. Let's try this one more time. One of those torches is a mimic? Yes. Hey, Alphonse. Cool. Replace these. We'll take this guy. We'll just get him out of here. We'll hit save one more time. Game development in action. The more you know. Go back to zone. Aramis says, I have a question about if your team has looked at a weapon system where you would have to maintain your weapons in game and maybe possibly for them to break, similar to how you have to use fuel for torches. So the challenge with that is when you have weapons that you like, they're rare, blah blah blah, then they immediately have to become an exception to the system, and so then repair or maintenance primarily becomes a thing that lies outside of that, because you don't want to have your wonderful weapon that you've camped forever, requested forever breaking. So we've discussed whether or not we would want to have something that's more of a buff system, but not the idea of like weapons breaking and weapon repair, where weapon repair is a negative, is pretty unlikely. Yeah, boats, houses, horses, your pet, turtle, that type of stuff. A little bit more maintenance, but gears, yeah. Not because I don't like it, to be honest with you. I just the degree of the degree of complaining and like butt hurt that would immediately appear, is just prohibitive. What if I use my boat as a weapon? Slowly turns towards Nick. That's fun. I'm down to sharpen my sword as well, but again, we've got to balance a bit of that with what we know to be certain set expectations within our sort of core audience. I assume Necros get a dead pet turtle? Well, it may not start that way. Deep turtle would be different, but I guess it could die as well. These, I can't tell if it's just a lot darker in here than. Is that a shaders? It's probably not a. Is it a shader thing? I wouldn't think so. Is it, Ollie? Oh, you know what? I think there's going to be a certain amount of light that's actually coming from the torch, and then there's going to be a certain amount of light that I fake just with lights. That's fair. Yep. I forgot about that part of the job. So, like, I'll come in here and I'm going to throw a light in. Harrison can hate me for it. He can fix it all later. But we'll set some ambience up in here. Cool, but things are working. So torches are working now. Let's throw in some temporary lights and some boxes and shit. Cool. All right, let's get at it. Telecure. Any plans for a stress test or something else? Not at the moment. Let me check something really quick. In terms of nameplate, I know we've discussed it in the past. I forget where we left off on that discussion. How's your next biome coming along? Good progress? Just design planning for it. There's been no work on it. Is there any chance to get past NPCs if they can't see you in the dark unless they can see invis or infravision? Probably not. So these are just using their base light, no? Let me... Yeah. What about other areas? What's he been doing for lights? But it looks like these torches are actually... They're providing a bit more illumination, softer. And then, like in here, we've got some lights. For example, that one. So, point lights, real time. Don't look at Worm's doing as example. It has a lot of extra stuff going on for performance. I was just gonna see if I could find, like how you were doing a basic light setup. If you don't mind, just kind of keeping an eye and let me know if I'm doing anything weird. I'd like to throw a couple lights in there. For attempt, just use a point light and don't turn on shadows. Okay. Might not be taking in fully what's being worked on. Seems like placeable torches for dungeons. Oh yeah, we've got those, Keebs. So we've got those in a few places now. I'm just coming in and getting started on rough propping and lighting pass. Point lights. Keep said very cool idea to make lighting interactable. Nice to see it expand to lighting campfires or fireplaces as well. Yeah, we've talked about that. Nick actually has a pretty cool little spell prototype that he put in where you can make a campfire. It'll probably go beyond just like it's going to go beyond just providing lighting. It'll likely provide other benefits as well. We've talked about different buff types or things like that you could get from cozy little campfires. Pat said we can only have like 8 lights visible at a time if we want to keep them dynamic. You can selectively bake lights though, which comes at a cost of adding shadow maps to the level file size. Uh-huh. So, intensity here is pretty... We'll see. We'll just play with this. So you guys play Final Fantasy 16 at all? I like how Clive casts that floating fireball to use as a light source within dark areas. We've talked about some different light spells as well. Let me put this here. Make empty parents. We'll call them temp lights. We'll call this front area. See how we feel about this, and then if that's looking good, then we can move forward with doing more of them. We'll go back to zone and hop back in. Hey, Tannhauser. A spell that makes a wisp fly around you for a light could get mad at you and shock you if you kill nature. That'd be interesting. You get a light, but you can't kill any natural stuff. Only if it randomly shouts, "Listen!" Woman I worked with at my last company, that was like her ringtone whenever she got a new SMS. Yeah. Hey, listen. Wanted to buy a lantern that's replenished by killing undead? That's an interesting concept. Is that light above blasting through there? Probably. Oh, I did not. I should have. Unchecked that little volumetric thing. So. Cool. This will be good enough for now. Pattis will fix everything later. What time is it? Oh, the moons are directly overhead, so it's a little bit brighter in there. Indefinite P99 said, love the idea of getting to stick torches into wall sconces. It sort of makes a camp space feel more lived in and a bit more claimed. Yeah. Also frees your hand up to do other things. Don't be gross. Mud command stuff, exactly. Volumetric off. Cool. We'll just try this for now. John said, for the ambient point lights, I think if you uncheck enable in the volumetric setting, it'll remove it. Yep. Yep. Esmerella. Hey, what's going on? And what did I do? What did I do with my handy, where was it? Window. Dev palette. We'll remove that because it's the wrong damn one. We'll grab this one, I think, and put it on here. There we go. Can I put this point light on there? More right on. Waking up for the day. That's cool. What time is it? Okay, so when I drag from here, 12:10. Sleeping in? Scene. I guess I can drag it here. Or I probably here. Stream late night? Ah, fair. You can drag stuff from the hierarchy for quick reference, but to quickly instantiate the new prefabs, drag in a prefab from the project window. But then I would need to make this light into a prefab and then drag it in, right? Because this light's not... Neither one of these is actually... okay. So, that's okay. In this case, though, torch 1... I can drag it in here because I'll be using that. And we'll keep that like that. We'll put this on my other screen. But for point light, we'll keep doing the old school method. Rain. Cool. Do control shift. Why are you rotating? Super hacky. Control, no. Switch my keyboard. Control D. And then was that Control Shift F to put it basically where I'm at, kind of like where my camera's facing. It's a little bit quicker, I guess. And Control Alt F will place it in front of your camera without rotating. Oh, nice. That's even better. Rune, go to bed, buddy. Hey, go in your room. There you go. Now you can stop crying. Dogs are silly. What is this light? Oh, I guess it's coming from the campfire. Interesting. Rooney, why are you crying, buddy? Mom will be home. Control Alt F. That is even better. So usually I stream on Tuesdays, Thursdays. It's Wednesday. If you haven't noticed, what I may wind up doing is streaming on Friday. Joe Pecky, thank you for the follow. I may wind up streaming on Friday, depending on what the weather's looking like, because the weather's been pretty shitty here, and I need to. If tomorrow's clear, if it's not raining, then I want to go spend some time at my garden. So let's look at the weather forecast. I should stream every day? Oh no, then I would get nothing done. You know how slow I am doing shit on stream? Yeah, the weather's supposed to be okay tomorrow. And then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, rain. Cool. So yeah, I will not be here tomorrow. I'm just going to tell you in advance, I will not be here tomorrow. If anybody shows up on Thursday looking for me, it's because they either weren't here today or they didn't pay attention. Dang it. Blue is funny. I got the message. It was like the little notification. You should apply for partner. And so I applied for partner and they're like, you need to stream at least one more day a week. I was like, that's just not going to happen. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Dave. There's water here. There's not like a visible shader, I think, when you're in game, but there's a volume here. Which, you know what, in honor of old school lighting, you know how if you go check out some old school dungeons, the lighting is just so random sometimes. It's like, why is it green in here? I have no idea. Why is it blue? No clue. This room's pink. Awesome. There's a little bit of that in Wormsbane, and I love it to death. So I think that's one of those things that we need to lean into. So there's water in this room. It's going to glow blue. Why? Bioluminescence? I don't know. I don't believe that's how that works, Sean. Don't care. Thanks, stumbled upon this because of EverQuest videos. Looks very promising. Which ones? YouTube? Is it interviews on YouTube or? Tell me all about yourself, Joe. Tell us. Who are you? Bioluminescent moss solves all color problems. Correct. And then, you know, the cool thing is with our mud commands, we can put in like a description and says the water what it would be like algae on the water produces an eerie blue glow, right? And we just slash look, boom, fixed it for you. Nick! They've been a subscriber for 38 months. / taste algae. Exactly, John. Nick, how's work going today? Nick smells like Ashira. Maze. You and I are going to have a talk. Now you're picking on Nick as well? Just got back from a good lunch with coworkers. What did you guys eat? Make me completely hungry again. Ty? Oh man. Bubonic said it won't let me use my Prime. Twitch trying to sabotage me. I'm telling you. They're trying to keep us down, Bubonic. Hey, Swanee85. What's up, Swanee? You also had Thai tea? Oh, man, I'm chilling. Thank you, Bubonic. Oh, hey, there it goes. Screw you, Bezos. I win. Nice. That's how you show it. You want to stick it to Bezos? Give us your primes. Thai T is my favorite letter in the Thai alphabet. One time, when I lived in Austin, I got a big can of powdered Thai, like Thai's tea powder, and it tasted really... I mean, it tasted like legit Thai iced tea. It was really good. That was a great investment. Thank you for the 74 bits. Appreciate that, Maze. But that does not erase the things you have done. So Joe said, never played EverQuest, wanted to try and watch loads of videos about Project 99, P99, and others. And YouTuber was Redbeard Flint. Oh, cool. He did a really nice video. He did a cool video. Sparrow did a great video. There are a lot of good videos from when we did our stress test a while back. Why? No, Maze is like, have done nothing. Why EQ, Joe? You're exposed to WoW. Yeah, WoW's a great game. But then what makes you think, hey, I played WoW, now I wanna try out some P99? Alright, so let's find some boxes and stuff. Prefabs. Do we have boxes and stuff in here? Got a pedestal. Got 3 statues. Prefabs, doors. Tasteful rub is my favorite quote today. I honestly don't even remember what I said. What's the main differentiator between this and EQ and other similar MMOs from back in the day? Tasteful rub. Entities, harvesting nodes, backpacks, shields, pickaxe, lantern, candle. I guess we can put some of those on our palette. Just made some homemade jerky, best thing ever. Oof, you guys are killing me right now. Thanks, John. Joe, is that the totality of your answer, or do you have more for us? Why are you interested in checking out P99? Finding people that are interested in old school MMOs is actually, it's a great source of knowledge for us. When you guys when you go to our Discord, and you should be in our Discord, we're not bullshitting around when we say we really like it when you do a little intro and tell us all about what you used to play and why you're here and all that stuff. Damn, Blue. Thank you for the 500 bits. That is very nice of you. Statics. No. Traps. Suns. Jeez. That's aggressive. UI. Okay, so Pattis, if you're out there, my dear, I don't see any boxes. Bubonic says, yo chat, what's a good free alternative to Photoshop? I'm working on making a small internet business. I need to make some pics. Thanks. Googled, figured I'd ask. GIMP? Yeah, indefinite P99. GIMP was the first thing that came to mind as well. I don't know if there's a newer, cooler thing. Joe said, well, I don't know if it's my age. I am 36 years old. And lately, old school style PC games in general is what I crave. God bless you. Something about old graphics, animation, etc. I played so many things I can't begin to list them, but I love RPGs and lately been playing Mordor, Depths of Dejnal? I don't know that one. And RTS, Brood War, and AoE 1, and not the DE. Yeah, so our statistics say that the bulk of the people that check out our videos and come on stream and stuff are basically aged 35 to 45, with then a number of folks skewing over into like the 45 plus. We had a lot of people that were like, they were pretty young when those old MMOs were out. All right, so wooden crate. Really, why can I not? Why do I not see it? Wooden barrel, wooden crate, wooden bucket. Unity people, why does this one look different? Why is my box lumpy? Box is lumpy because it's a model, not a prefab. If I place these models, can we can just come back and replace them with prefabs once we've got prefabs, right? All right, let's do that. Can I put that on my palette though? If I drag it over. And then kind of drag it from here. Well, shit. Bam. All things can go on the palette, but I thought some things they operated a bit goofier. If you didn't do it right. So props. I'm totally gonna screw up the entire directory here for Patterson. He's gonna hate me. Folders too if you want. Sean's ability to map has increased threefold with this new discovery. Level up. Yeah, it's huge. Thank you for celebrating it with bits. I'm just gonna put everything into... Would love to decorate a game. Seems so satisfying. I think that's a really, really pleasant way of saying it. I'd love to decorate a game. I'm like, we need to get this shit propped out. You're like, decorating a dungeon is wonderful. That's so nice. Oh. It's a different perspective, right? Like, barrels and stuff. It's just this different take on things, and you just made it sound so much less like work. I'll leave it here for now. Screw it. Will we... wait. We will let you put Knoll art on the wall after Sean is finished with all the torches. Once we've got some of the Knoll art and stuff ready, we actually will. Goblins put together some fun little 2D art and stuff like that we'll be sticking on here and trying out. Like decals. We're going to do decals instead of modeling everything. Keep it kind of old school. Faction up with the Ashira and they hire you to decorate their homes. That's an interesting gameplay loop. We'll steal a little bit from Palia. Totally new housing meets adventure loop. It'll be like those people that used to break into people's houses and then just move all the furniture around and leave. Or you can play a poltergeist. What did Swanee do? Oh, it gave you info on which Photoshop replacements to use. Nice. That's pretty cool. That's what I like about our crew here. A lot of teamwork going on. You always give me remembering scary stories, Poltergeist. I wasn't even thinking about the movie until you said something. Damn it. Now you hit me with the reverse Uno card. Now I'm gonna be scared. Shit. I shouldn't have said anything. Me and my big mouth. Oh. You do enjoy playing House Flipper from time to time? In real life, have you made money flipping the houses? Now it's a video game doing that? Oh, interesting. Mobile or... House Flipper Slaps, it's a PC game? Oh, wow. Do you not have phones? You know what game had great decorating? Harry Potter. It looked so good, especially the Hufflepuff area. Really, you could decorate in that game? No, I just mean... Oh. You mean like the decorations. The propping and stuff in there. I shall call this camp the Barrel Room. See, that's how it gets going. That's definitely, that's how some of this stuff happens. But for now, you've got to consider the fact that some other decorations are going to go in here. Put a barrel mimic in there, that would be awesome. If that's gonna be the barrel room back there, I need to put some more barrels in it. I really want it to stand out as a barrel room. Barrel room. One LF DPS or LF1 DPS? What's in the barrels? You gotta wait until I put in the mud actions. Pickle goblins. Pickle goblin, delicious. Pickle gnomes, don't start. Blue, don't start. You're doing so good today by giving us money. Do we smell them? You could smell them. You guys keep an eye out. If you find any other MMOs out there with sniffing, rubbing and tasting and pulling, you let us know, and you let them know. You let them know that they're trying to steal our shit. No, we'll find them. Got a very particular set of skills. I will delete your entire loot table. Yeah. That's what she said, and then called her lawyer. No. All of my ex-wives have been very cool. I take that back. That'd be cool. Mud action treasure chest sometimes. Yep. Very possible. Brewer's skill epic quest, a chain objective, possibly Quixana. Metagaming, thank you for the follow. I take that back in case they're listening. Yeah. They were all very nice. I am not at all traumatized. Any of those barrels floating, I will report them. No, most of them are a little bit buried in the ground. So the basic idea that we're going to be shooting for here is that we're going to have like a lot of random boxes and barrels, and may for temporarily at least throw in my little crappy wagon that I made, because I've got like a little tiny cart type wagon, some stuff like that in these rooms. And when you get in here, you'll run into it'll be primarily things like Ashira raiders and others that kind of conveyed a theme. Because the idea, if you talk to the people in Night Harbor, they'll tell you that one of the problems that they have with the Ashira is that they ambush merchants and travelers and stuff and steal their shit. So maybe some hanging grapes, barley or wheat, maybe a little bit here, but you may see a little bit more of like that hanging, drying food and reeds and, you know, herbs and stuff like that. You may find that around this area a little bit more, and then going into this central area here. First, and I've been talking about that stuff, right? So, and in some shops and things around here, right? So you may have like a little shop here, and we've got nice hanging herbs and stuff like that. So, and then some folks, if you got good faction, you can come over here and barter with them. And if you're just like killing them, then you can just come and kill them. Right? That's nice, right? Just come over here, kill them. It's like the Bob Ross of murder. I swear I was just watching something like that. Is this like an Ashira city? It is like an Ashira city. Ashira has wares if you have plat. We're thinking about adding in happy little pile of corpses. Tap, 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 tap. What was I just watching where someone was... It was like a... Or was it like an Instagram post of... Probably one of the former Special Operations IG accounts where it's... had some murdery Bob Ross stuff going on. So you can build faction with enemy races, actually use their city? Yep. With some of them. So we're trying that out with the Ashira. The Ashira is going to be an experiment. An experiment. That is awesome. Thank you. We hope it turns out to be awesome. Did I already control D? I didn't control D. So we're going to control D these guys. We're going to control Alt F them. There we go. And here we'll put in a little mimic. Isn't it cute? Look at that happy little mimic. See it smile. That was funny. With the proper faction, you can be an ogre who identifies as a deep gnome but doesn't fit through the gate. Yeah. Hi guys. Guys, I'm having trouble with the gate again. I don't mean to complain, but yeah. Having some trouble with the gate, guys. Better farm your Cobalt Racer. Or play a Shaman. Yeah, see? Solutions. You've got solutions to your problems. That's what we like about you guys. Our job is just to create a bunch of problems and then let you figure out the solutions to all of them. So is the other room the barrel room, or should we just drop a ton of barrels in this room and have it be the barrel room? And maybe have it like a drunken, when I figure out solutions, y'all nerf it. Yeah, but that's you, Maze. You go a little too hard on the solutioning. And then we'll have a drunken Ashira in here. Boom! The crone was on top of it as well. Puddles of ale all over the floor and a drunk rare Ashira. There we go. See? Have a couple of drunk Ashira brawlers in here. Can one of the rooms spawn a rabid barrel monkey who is elite and drops a stack of unripe bananas, absolutely obliterates anyone under level 7? I don't know. I don't know about that. That may be too extreme. There's going to be a lot of barrels and stuff. Can we get some classes that can pick up objects and throw them like barrels? But then we've got to make dynamic barrels, and that starts to get a bit scary. I don't know if we're ready for that level of ambition. It took us forever to make throwable barrels in this universe. Plot twist, the Drunken Ashira can sell friendly PCs admittance to the underground gambling fight club. Oh man, the plot thickens. Correct. I love so much, Sparrow, I love so much now that I'm thinking that I'm just decorating. Ashira strippers, but they only strip down to fur. You guys. Y'all dirty. I'm gonna go over the falls in a barrel and get to the bottom level of the get to the top from the top level to the bottom quickly. We may have to do that somewhere. I was talking to Baloo, because Baloo's working in Sungreed Strand at the moment, doing some really cool stuff there, and we'll pop over there in a little bit, and you can see some of what he's been doing. And so Baloo's been working, Baloo, B-A-L-O-O, also known as Simon, but mainly known as Baloo. Like from, wasn't it Jungle Book? Anyway, and it got me thinking about, mountains. And how much fun. Yeah, working on the bare necessities, exactly. How much fun it will be to do big ass verticality. Right, so we've got this area right here. It's a big ramp that goes up, and that's if you can barely see it, we'll zoom in. There's a fortress with ogre mercenaries and stuff in there, right? And this big lead up, and we've got a big quarry over here that we'll go look at, and these are towers, right? So this is pretty big. This is the aqueduct up there, and I was thinking, how much fun would it be to then see in the distance this just massive ass, and so this is only like 2.5, 3 times, but like, what if it was 4 times as high? And it's a zone. And as you're moving up, you can actually, you can go off the side or whatever. If you fall up the side, you actually fall and you fall and you fall and you hit a zone line. And then you go into the next zone and you fall and you fall and you splat. And just being up there, and then imagine there's a castle up there. Oh man. That's going to be great. So I'm excited about that kind of stuff. That's the kind of stuff that gets me a little excited. Gotta put a dragon nest up there, right? Big old dragon nest up there. At least if you fall, your corpse run is easier than climbing again. That's true. I was actually, so first I was thinking about really like we should look into doing that for the high elf area. What? I just saw rest assured Baldur's Gate 3 will have that, and then it's a response to why not both, and I'm afraid to even look up. A dragon with knockback? I thought you said a dragon with knockers. Oh my gosh, okay. That now it makes sense. Oh, by the way, I finally saw like a reaction to the video, and that allowed me to see the video, and all I gotta say is why? Just why? Why? Come on, guys. Just why? Come on. Why not? Nicodemus! Hey, buddy. Because everyone will talk about it. You know what? Fair. Fair. I can respect that. Nicodemus, thank you for the gift subs. NB, GT, and Oni-chan, there you go. You're all subbed up now. Man, we got a bunch of gift subs in here tonight. Can you smell the barrels? Some of them, maybe. No joke. Not even joking with you. John, are you still out there? My dear friend. Oh, wait. Pilgrim. Pilgrim John. Are you still out there? You're also my dear friend, John, but Pilgrim. You're also here. Cool. Let me... I haven't even looked. Is the... Are we able to make box volume mud interactions now? Or mud actions? Is all of that's available now? I think so. Needs to be tested. Hell yeah, I will definitely be testing it. I can't explain to you how excited I am for that. It's so tasted. After, well, maybe tasting it will be part of the test. It looks like this room needs some barrel shelves along the wall and lined up through the room. Oh man. Serious question though. I'm relying on you for some decorating input. Do you think the Ashira, do you think they think in those terms? They might. Honest question. Do you think they're thinking, you know what, we need to build some shelving in here for all this shit we've plundered? Or do you think they just kind of like stack stuff up? Need to mix things up with crates? Yeah, I'm just doing a barrel pass and I'm going to do some crates and like a crate pass. And then we'll look and kind of see how we think things are looking. And then, think they would have, also think they would have hay and cages for tamed animals, livestock. I don't know if they do much with livestock, but they may have some animals like chickens or something, but they'll be imaginary chickens because we're not going to model a chicken. If the shears are anything like my dog, the barrels would be tinder sticks. Fair enough. What if you had a series of shelves with boss Ashira at the top and you have to run along the shelves and dodge the barrels and the boss Ashira is rolling at you? I'm having trouble picturing that. If there's a little gnome in overalls. You could whip up some 8-bit graphics to represent it. Show me what you're thinking. Alright, that'd be good. That would help. How smart are these Ashira? That would determine if they would decorate how they would decorate the place. I mean, it's a very fair question. It's kind of a hard one to describe. They're relatively smart, but maybe they're just so they've still got enough of a kind of feral side, and they're so hippie-ish that they got the smarts. They just don't necessarily have the they haven't gone through the reps when it comes to civilization. They have stores and banks, I think. Yeah, fair enough. That's a fair point. Maybe they force prisoners captured in merchant raids to put away their stuff. I was thinking about whether or not they have any prisoners. I did want to sneak in like a human and maybe a human ranger and his pet jackal or something, and he's got a relationship with the Ashira, because why would the players be the first ones to figure out how to like be homies with the Ashira, right? It's not like the players are the chosen ones or something. Maybe break this room up with like a little rock or something. Pull one of these rocks in here just to break it up a bit. That way it's not just flat madness. And, you know, if we don't like that idea, we can always change it later. Well, did that not work? That didn't work. Okay. So we're not going to do that. I attempted a thing. It didn't do a thing. I don't know if it stuck, but Goblin had some concept art of Ashira using pulley elevators and traps. Got to be smart enough. Pulley elevators and traps? Where's that concept art? I feel like I've been robbed of an entire experience. Large objects could hide sleeping guards. Yeah. How you doing, Dragon? That's not good. Yeah, that's what's on. I imagine the Ashira has somewhat Egyptian aesthetic level of tech where they make statues and have basic pulleys and levers. Maybe high level Ashira do some goldsmithing. Yeah, we've talked about wanting some smithing in here. Oh, sounds like Jasmine's home. Puppy dog is making his noises. We're decorating a game. How was the barbecue, by the way? Oh man, what day was that? I'm gonna say, oh yeah, it was good. It was good, but I don't remember which day it was. But we did have a barbecue recently at the gardens. We had a bunch of bratwursts. Mm-hmm. Nope, wrong one. All right, I think this more qualifies as the barrel room now, right? All right, let's hit save and let's run in here and see. So we just start with barrels. We'll throw some boxes in soon. Throw some other random crap, some stolen pickaxes and shovels, or honestly, any props that we've got available. Tyler's Edge, what's up? Barbecue in Germany differ much than barbecue in Dothan. Yeah, I mean, a lot of times in Germany, if you're having a barbecue, it's going to be a lot of wursts. Bratwurst, Krakauer, all sorts of wursts. And, I mean, you know, I guess it doesn't differ that much from Dothan in that there's a lot of beer. But, it's just different beer. Wurst is a sausage style. I think wurst is just basically sausage. And then there's a bunch of different wursts. Like bunch of different types of wursts. Often named after the region that they're from, if I'm not mistaken. Liverwurst. Is that a new ground texture? No, it's the same ground texture. I was kind of tinkering around with the wall texture a little bit, but it's new ground texture. Ooh, buckets. Wooden bucket. Yeah. Put this in our list. Wooden bucket 2. Let's put that in our list. Some candles. That's nice. Doner kebab. Doner kebab is delicious, but it's not a worst. Doner kebab is shaved meat. Liverwurst is more of a pate, though. Yeah. Liverwurst, T-wurst. So T-wurst is kind of like deviled ham. You know what I mean? Hmm. Yeah, and then there's Metwurst. Metwurst. I can't. I'm not native, so I have a little bit of trouble. My digestion. It's not really. I've tried Metwurst a couple times. I used to eat it as a kid when I lived here, but I tried it a couple times because Wednesday in German is Mittwoch, so Mittwoch instead of Met. So Met. Mittwoch, middle of the week, I guess. And then there's a play on words at the company I was at. They would call it Metwoch. And so they would buy a big thing of Metwurst. And Metwurst is basically raw ground pork. And then you put the ground pork. It's like a pork tartare right on the bread. Throw a little onion on it. Eat it. And for me, promptly be prepared to run to the bathroom later that evening. But they eat it. My wife eats it. Folks eat it. It has not been kind to me, though. And I would say, which worst is the worst of all worsts? I would say Metwurst. I didn't even try Metwurst. It's not really a thing in southern Germany usually. Really? How far south? Because I used to live in Stromberg. It's near Bad Kreuznach, which is right off the Rhine River. Bingen's down there and some other stuff. And I tell you what, they would eat it there as well. I love German breakfast where it's just like a table. It's just a big table of like all these different cheeses and all these different meats and wursts and breads and jams. And I do my lunch kind of like that, where it's always just a variety. For lunch I'll do a bunch of different cheeses and I'll just cut some off, and some olives and some different meats. And this week I'll probably do some sandwiches because I bought a thing of the T-wurst, which is like the deviled ham, a couple different lunch meats and some cheeses. When in Rome, right? I might try some Metwurst again soon and see what happens. Well, I guess everything beyond Stuttgart is not southern Germany for me. Maybe Karlsruhe. Okay. I'd have to look on the map and see. Rank them from brats to worst. That's a pretty nice pun. Sorry, I'm reading something really quick. I completely distracted. Lived near Lake Constance for a while, so my views may be skewed. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't been there. I know where it is on the map, though. If you've had a brat, you've had a worst. Because it's a bratwurst. Bratwurst. Wikipedia says... Bratwurst is a type of German sausage made from pork, or less commonly, beef or veal. The name is derived from the Old High German Bratwurst, from brat, finely chopped meat, and wurst, sausage. Though in modern German, it is often associated with the verb braten, to pan fry or roast. One second, guys. Can you smell the worst? You can. Favorite dish in Germany? Germany isn't known for their food? What? I guess if you're not into delicious pork and potatoes and shit. What kind of crazy talk is that? Hyper, are you from England? I mean, there's a lot of pork, and there is a lot of very rich, like, potatoes and stuff. Asian and US, aha. I don't know what. Aha, made sense. Come to Alberta for some nice steak. If I'm ever in Alberta, which I'm not necessarily in a hurry to go to Canada, but if I'm ever in Alberta, we'll come check out a nice steak, as long as you're buying. Then we'll move these guys around a little bit, and we'll have them roaming a little bit more and stuff like that. But the steaks on Bork, yeah. Bork's buying all the steaks. And if you guys aren't familiar with the tools and stuff, I'll show you kind of how we do some of the other parts of it. Some of our decorations are NPCs, right? So let's... Wait a second, why are you there? Client, me, F, cool. We'll turn off our gizmos really quick. Then we'll turn on, we'll come over here, zone panel, enable. You heard it first. You heard it here first. Oh my gosh, English. Mimics confirmed for imminent. Absolutely would love to do mimics. Zukin, if you're ever really bored and you're like, hey, I want to just knock something out that's kind of quirky and fun really fast, Just make a mimic. Make some different mimics. Barrel mimic, chest mimic, box mimic. Yeah. It's one of those things, it's not on the list, but if you're ever looking like for a little bit of a palate cleanser and like, hey, I want to do a quick, door mimic, ship mimic. Well, just want to do a little rando thing or whatever, that'll get used. That'll totally get used. All right, so come here, Spectre, this guy from position. Move this guy over here. Whoops, meant to hit save. Save. Oops, why'd I do that? We do that here. Boom, from position. Well, you guys even mimicking each other? What? Mimic, double fake out. What is a mimic? Is a mimic? It looks like a barrel that looks like a monster, but is really a barrel. What is the perfect ratio of mimic to chess? Oh, that's a great question. What do you guys think it is? Tell me in the comments below. A barrel that looks like a mimic? I could see like goblins or somebody or maybe even gnomes or deep gnomes making barrels that look like making fake mimics. Hey Jasmine. Alright, so we got these guys, and so then I could just come back over here, reload zone, and these guys should be in the right position. Your daughter was messing around, drew a mimic last month. Hers was pretty good. Oh, wow. I would be so proud. I would be proud. I'd be like, good job, youngin'. She's hired, yeah. Oh, I forgot. We need to go check on our light over here. Did our light do anything? No, it's just up there being all dark and not really good. Alright, so we'll need to fix that. So, let's log out real quick and take a look at that, because that bothers me that that's not cooler looking. I wanted that to be a moment. Oh. Hold on one second. My wife is making a bunch of noise. Sorry about that. Hasn't she went to a barbecue yet? Or is she back? She's back. It's like 10:18 at night here. Yeah, so a couple of her coworkers, one of them was a lady that like was one of the people that she knew when, you know, essentially when she was looking for places to work. One of the people that she knew from back in the day who clued her in on this job, actually her and another one of my wife's friends decided to leave the clinic to go to a new clinic, and so this was like a going away barbecue. So you're slowly withering away from playtest withdrawals? Oh man, what are we gonna do? Up. There you go. Should be fixed. Let's get crazy with this thing, right? Well, that's bright. If it's gonna be that bright, then it needs to be a darker color. I'm not doing this very scientifically. Please forgive. Intensity, 2500. Why not? Loving robot, can you adjust aggro radius per mob, right? Could have a mimic with super tight, short aggro range? Yeah, should be able to. You should be able to, Zukin. Is that an indoor pool, indoor swimming pool for the Ashira? Yes. This is where the wealthy Ashira live. It's a heated swimming pool. Alright, we'll see how this works. It's probably gonna look janky as all shit. Not really seeing it bounce off the walls very much, but we'll see. We'll see. So watching Co last night, he took a look at M&M and was quite dismissive of the project. Can't win them all, sadly, but hope we'll be more open-minded with them. Yeah, I mean, he's basically he's taken a quick glance at our website that we barely maintain at the moment. So I don't know. I've kind of multiple schools of thoughts there. It's always nice if someone like looks at the project and goes, "Oh my gosh, it's so great!" But at this stage, we're so early and we're in development that don't really care. You know, like if he looked at it and was like, "Oh, that's really cool," and you know, I think naturally it'd be the response to be like, "Oh wow, that's really really cool." But if he kind of just glances at it and doesn't really dig into it and is like, "Why do we need that?" Then I'm kind of like, don't really care. Later on, if more people are talking about it and it's positive, then he could look at it and probably be like, "Oh wow, this is real cool," right? I don't know. You know, I don't know what to say. It's one of those deals where anytime you know, a content creator with a few 100,000 followers or whatever is into something, it's nice. If they're not into it, but they expose it to their viewers, like Asmon takes a look and he's like, "Man, this looks like dog shit." There's still a certain number of people that'll be like, "Oh, let me check that out," right? But like with Co, I think for us, it's just a matter of we keep making a good game, and at some point, if he's looking at it objectively, I can't imagine him not finding something interesting about it. Because I mean, you know, he's been following Pantheon and he's a backer there, right? So, and there's definitely some kind of overlap in what we're doing, which I don't know, maybe he's looking for more of a modern take on MMOs, like a modern MMO with classic MMO clothing or something. You know what I mean? Like it's like maybe he's looking for like a more modern MMO that's you know, like a little nod and a wink towards classic MMOs, whereas we're actually just making something that is taking classic MMO ideas and just running with them. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm always happy when new people find us and like us. But at this stage of development, if anybody finds us and doesn't like us, it's not, I don't know what to say, because we're still, the only reason why they're finding us is because we're showing our work as we go. Otherwise, we probably would have one of those websites that's still like, coming soon. Here's some lore. Here's a couple concept art. You know, like, whereas we're like, hey, look at these blue capsules and shit. How do you like that? Later, Zukin. Have a good one, buddy. He's looking for modern. He said he would love to seduce a Russian oligarch to get 500 million and have. That's the interesting thing. If that's an actual quote, but maybe you're just being. Is that a legit sort of summation, Swanee? Really close to what you joke. Because then the question is like, if you want to spend 500 million on an MMO, well, first of all, I'm hoping you're spending it on more than just graphics. So then the thing is, if someone were to say, I'd like to have EQ recreated in Unreal 5 with all the best graphics. But if it's literally just EQ in Unreal 5, I mean, I guess that's cool, but then yeah, there's not much to that. That shouldn't cost $500 million. I'll tell you what. I'm pretty sure EG7 could make EQ in Unreal 5 for a shitload less than 500 million. But yeah, it's always interesting because the other thing too is the number of times people talk about like MMOs and gameplay, and then the first thing they say is, man, it would be real cool if it was in Unreal 5 and it had good lighting. It's like, you talk a good game about gameplay, but the first thing you say is, I want shiny. I want shiny. But it's an MMO in Unreal 5. Cool, so is AOC. Go check it out. May have been 50 million. 50 million sounds a little bit more reasonable. There we go. That's obnoxiously blue. Now just imagine there's water there. MVGT, I did not realize I was providing insight. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have said anything. I would hate for anything I just said to be taken as insight. It's just me frickin' blabbing. Yeah, and that's really bright up there, but you know what, we'll just leave it like that for now. Oops, let me aggro off, invulnerable. And that light's even blasting through the floor up here. Oh no, it's just blasting against those walls up there. Okay. Mimic pond instead of swimming in it, it eats you. Yeah, but no, wow, that light's blasting over here as well. The range is just way too big. Yeah, but no, the team had actually, for sake of full disclosure, the team had actually posted this morning a clip. I think like Zukin had posted a clip of the of Ko checking out, because again, we like Ko, we watch his stuff. We've got folks on our team that keep a pretty active eye on EQ and Pantheon and what Ko plays and things of that nature. So they posted a clip, and it was naturally the team's kind of disappointed because they're like, oh shit, yeah, the website. Because if he's basing basing his sort of understanding of the game off screenshots on the website, it's like, oh, bummer, because that's one of those things where for probably 6 months we're like, oh, we should update the website, right? Like we should make the website a little bit nicer, and we should make sure that it's got the latest screenshots and all of that. And it's just not a priority relative to making the game. Every time we're like, oh, it's not a priority. And so the website just doesn't get updated. And then I feel bad because, you know, that's kind of been on me for a lot of the time. Ooh, the shader. And so what... That was kind of the first response, was like, you know, reacting, being, hey, maybe we should update the website then, right? Because that wasn't, you know, that was disappointing. It's disappointing when someone like Co like looks at the website and it's like, oh, well, this looks like just a super indie version of EQ. Why do we need that? Which then he said, like, you know, like actual question, why do we need that? Then I guess, you know, because it's the same way with if I'm streaming, I'll just ask you questions because I don't have time to look stuff up or really dig into it or whatever. What I would think, though, is if he's a true aficionado or like a true lover of the genre and a true, if he's truly curious about the state of MMOs and indie MMOs, and if he truly loves EQ, then my thought would be that he would have curiosity and then dig into it a little bit more, maybe if he has time or if he's got people that do that at his level. Maybe he's got people that do that, because then it would be like, okay, what's this really about? Like the goal for me would then be to answer that question. Like when you guys ask me questions or you're like, hey, have you seen blah blah blah, I'll open a tab on my browser and I'll just keep it over there, and afterwards I'll read up and be like, oh, what is this shit all about? So my thought would be that maybe he would do that. And then the question is, can you get that from the website, right? We've got like 350 plus or 300 plus videos on YouTube. So there's some information available to us. Our website's got it's got a great update section, right? So like our update section is our screenshots and stuff. And again, when it's, you know, when it's like, oh, just Googling even, you know, Googling has some stuff there, but not necessarily. Thank you, Redbeard, for the awesome video one more time. But if I go to updates, like if I click on updates and I see these, I'm biased, right? Like I'm biased because I love our art and I love the shit that we're doing. But if I click on updates because I'm a curious little bird, and I see these guys, I'm like, I think even if, because if you go here, this is the problem right now. If we go here, we got images and it's just old shit, right? This is kind of like in screenshots. If you click on this one, you know, I've basically made this webpage in Squarespace, right? Like it's not the bee's knees. But you know, the other day I did reprioritize some of these. So like if you click on this, it's kind of like it's getting there. But if you go to the updates, I'd be like Powered by Wix, right? These things, again, you might have to scroll to see some stuff, but there's a ton of information here. So again, if somebody's actually truly curious, you know, like I would say they could dig in a little bit more and find out. If they're not curious, then it's one of those things where I just like, I don't know how much I care at this point. Maybe in a year or two, then I'll care a little bit more about spoon feeding people's lack of curiosity. Nick said, I think he thinks it's more Indian than it is, if that makes sense. It does make sense, but it also doesn't. You know what I mean? Like in the sense that we are super indie, right? Like we're indie as fuck. We're 15 part-time volunteers. That's pretty indie. Now it could be more indie. We could be like 2 people, or the first year it was like, you know, 3-4 of us. We were really indie there, but we're very indie. You know, like, but we're not. It's not 2 people, but it is 15 people. But you know, and so then I think what really does it is when you start to, and again, every parent thinks their kid's cute, so like maybe that's on me. But I look at it, I'm like, I look at I look at the art that we're doing, and I look at the number of talented people that we've assembled. Like, we're listening to Robert's like extremely badass music and audio in the background. We've got just shitloads of wonderful, great concept art. We're adding new items and stuff regularly, right? Like, we've got people cranking on characters, we've got people cranking on animations, we've got just tons and tons of awesome, awesome art and stuff coming together every update. So if you go back through the old updates, it's just lots of this shit. So maybe that's what, Nick, is that what you meant? Like, so we are different. We're just early. And the other thing is, whenever you're showing your stuff, whenever you're showing your work, it's just, like, I think if we go over here, you can even like see work in progress. You're even gonna see like capsule dudes if you scroll down, right? It's like, this is here's our game, guys. Remember these days? Holy shit, remember these days? Wowzers. Remember that used to be Night Harbor. So I think we can do a better job of presenting things, and the team's looking at that right now, because hey, it never hurts to put your best foot forward. And so we're going to be working on that right now, like figuring out what's the best way to present our stuff at a glance, and then get people in and make sure that if they go to, dig in and like really dig into the in progress section, they don't get confused with the current stuff. But again, like, we're still cranking away on our first zones and getting stuff in. We just haven't prioritized that stuff yet, for better or worse. So, because, and I say this about like Pantheon, when people are, because there's the overlap in communities and stuff like that, and people are like, oh, shitting on Pantheon or something. I say the same thing about them, which is like, at the end of the day, we all have to make a game and ship it. Like, we all have to make a game and have it go live. So everything that happens prior to then, some of that does have a bearing on, like, potentially how it's received in the long term, or how it ultimately does. But I think in the Discord, which you can join right here, I think there is a great thread talking about No Man's Sky, right? No Man's Sky, disastrous launch, and they have done an outstanding job with that game, and they've been insanely successful with that game. Like, I can't disclose, but I know from just a recruiter at one point was talking to me about wanting to go there or whatever. The war chest that they're sitting on, like the money that they just have based on the success of that game, is incredible, right? So at the end of the day, if a game takes 4 years, if a game takes 6 years, if a game takes 15 years, when the game comes out, if it's good, then it's a good game. If we're like, oh man, we got this game out in a year and a half, dog, and we, and it was the most ripping time, everybody loves each other, and we never had a single fight, and we had the clearest vision from day one, and we put it out and it's just a piece of shit. No one cares. You have to put out a game that people are going to enjoy, no matter what the circumstances are, no matter who's involved in the project, no matter what engine you're using. Doesn't matter. Like, you guys just want a game that you enjoy, right? I don't know. You're not like, hey, this game kind of sucks ass, but you know what? Sean was really friendly on streams. You're not going to care. Sorry, Jasmine. So let's go check out what Simon's been working on. Releases when the work starts. Yeah, it's like having a kid. MMO is like having a kid that never ever moves out of your house. Some of you may know how that feels. Some of you may be that kid, and no judgment. Slash hydrate. I do not have a hydrate, but Jasmine did. She did She did come drink my water and put the thing back down. I thought she was getting me water. No, she was just drinking it and putting my water back down. Oh, you're thinking of my tune? Yeah, I am perpetually... Jasmine hand reveal. They saw your hand. Said it looked really stanky. Did you just choke on water? I didn't say it, chat said it. Someone say that shit real quick so I don't get in trouble for making stuff up. We're sticking to what we started. Dragon Lee, yeah, mostly. We're trying to. That's a fine looking hand. Stanky. It looks stanky. See, they said it. It was the most beautiful hand. Thank you, Sparrow.
Thank you.
All right, so I have drank some water. The fact that Eminem feels nostalgic already at this point so far from release is an insanely good sign. Yeah, I appreciate it, Fabrizio. And again, guys, don't get me wrong. Like I said, it's always cool when somebody even mentions our game. It's surreal. When you guys have made videos for like the stress test, we sat around and it was such like a joyful moment to just see how many of you were having fun and like the cool videos that are up there. And you know, like I mentioned, Sparrow, like great video, and Redbeard Flynn, everybody, like we actually it's on the update that I just closed. Here, Control Shift T. We'll go to updates. Just because it was such a rad experience, right? Like, updates. There's a way for us to make more videos. Are you going to say, let you in? Like, I think this was the one, right? Yeah. All the rad videos, right? Like, so that was really surreal. It's super, super cool. And bangs on gate. Yeah, so hey, back let's get back to business here. Yeah. And Swanee. And Swanee, exactly. And like I said, I'm not picking on him. Like I know the feeling, and I'm not dealing with the sheer volume of people that someone like Ko's dealing with on a given stream, right? So it's kind of like, what's this? Okay, I've got to get back to doing the shit that I'm supposed to be doing, right? So, like I said, a lot of times I'll open something in a browser window and then keep going so I can check it out afterwards, because it's hard for me to, you guys know how frazzled I am half the time and can't keep my shit straight. Yeah, so we've got this brewery that's owned by this family here on the riverside in Sungreet. And so we've got this is actually a farm though. So this is a sample of kind of a farm layout where you've got vegetation growing in these areas, and there's going to be some water and stuff like that. And then further down we'll have the brewery. I misspoke. This is the farm. So we're going to have some of these nicer farms, and we're going to have decrepit kind of abandoned farms along the road up there. Ignore the mountains in the background. I was just playing with textures on my end. So Simon had just blocked this out to kind of get a feel for it. So let's run down to... Oh man, actually it's way down there. So we'll hit it later. And this was, I think, an old example farm thing that I put in when I was copy paste and stuff back in the day. Let's see. You have to try Eminem to even see how awesome it is. Pics and videos does not do it. Yeah, it is a bit of a challenge, right? Like, I really loved the response when people got in. And we were saying that beforehand. We're like, man, it feels so different when you're in here than I think it looks like. Does Jasmine accept bribes? I hope not. Confederate Metwurst. What is the elevator pitch for Sungreed Strand? Sungreed Strand is... It's kind of a utilitarian area in a sense, right? It's farmlands. There are nicer farmlands along the river with some not so nice farmlands along the main road that goes from Night Harbor through the into the glass flats. And so it used to be called Night Harbor Fields, the zone, right? If that helps you kind of understand. You'll see more trees get populated in here. You'll see more structures and some decrepit sort of ruined structures and things like that. And this is also the home of the quarry, where they actually dug up a lot of the stone to help make a lot of the newer structures in Night Harbor. The thing that you'll see soon is that the quarry's been overrun with some really nasty, like, dire style fire beetles, right? Like bigger, badder fire beetles. I don't think we're going to call them dire fire beetles because that's just kind of weird, but there'll be something along those lines. And so they've swarmed out of some caves here. Up there you see the aqueducts that are carrying water down into Night Harbor from like a glacial lake up there. Dire beetles, yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Very smart move. I said it's smart because I was thinking it as well. Or it's just smart and I wasn't thinking of it and I'm lying to you now and I'm stealing your ideas. So there's a nice spring / lake up there that supplies the water down, or some of the water down into Night Harbor. And these mercenary ogres have been hired to basically patrol the area and keep it free of goblins. So that dungeon that we were just in, Telekir, there's another way into that dungeon, into an area that's overrun by goblins. And they're goofballs, but they're mean, but they're goofy, but they're also mean. And so you can encounter them up in some of these pathways and stuff. So those of you that weren't around when we were up here, let me kind of give you a feel. Damn, flam, bam, thank you, ma'am, fire beetles. Nick was just mentioning that some of the nameplates were too big. I think that would be very, very big. I think that might be too much. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below. So we've got some nice areas up here, some elevation, some kind of little areas wrapping around, and some areas that'll kind of little gullies or ravines that'll wind off the main path here. And some stuff for you to find. Smash that like button. Yep. Smash it. Oh my gosh. I wish my persona, I've developed a persona where I don't curse very much and I don't say horrible things, unlike real life. Otherwise, I would, sometimes you guys say stuff and I'm like, oh, I'm going to make it funny, but it would not be funny to a lot of people. And so I just don't do it. Yeah. So when you get up here, you'll be able to see like the farmlands and the roads, and bandits have taken over some of these areas. There'll be some intrigue between the nice farms that are down here, and then kind of the history and what happened to the farms that aren't doing so well up there. Yeah, we've just got these fun little areas you can go exploring in here. And hey, Fielder. You'll find a few camps and be able to see into the glass flats. Be able to see Night Harbor. Can you see the city lights at night? I don't know if you can at the moment, but you will be able to. Let's check it up. Let's check it Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Oh jeez. Why does invulnerability reset when you zone? Why? But as you can see, we have falling damage. We gotta prove our falling damage every once in a while. Just, that was to show people that are maybe new here and they're like, do you have falling damage? Of course we do. We are sophisticated. So you'll get to see Night Harbor probably real quick. For those of you that are new here, do we have anybody that this is your first time in our stream? If so, be sure to join our Discord. Maybe check out our mailing list. We're creeping towards 4,000 people on the mailing list. That's not bad. I think it's got to be hard to be a streamer. A lot of soft skills you have to be good at, and you have to be tough as nails. What is it? Is that what it's like? Now, you guys have... I've had to deal with such little bullshit from the stream, to be honest. Like, folks here have... we've had so few people, like, come in and be weirdos. Honestly, we've had less than half a dozen. Which is another way of saying less than 6. But somehow it doesn't seem as like, you know, if you say 6, that's then, you know, for me to not be lying, it's really got to be like fewer than 6. But if you say like less than half a dozen, then there's a little bit. 2 of them were Maze. I don't want to pick on Maze too much. Oh, 5 p.m. not MP and not MP5. But yeah, no, people have been pretty cool in here. I could imagine that it's tough in some streams. You guys ask questions, I answer them to the best of my ability, or I try to point you to people that can't answer them, right? Like, and we'll usually have people in here, so I could be like, hey Nick, or hey Ollie, or Zukin, or whomever, right? So let's sit here for a moment. For those, you know, one of you, 2 of you that haven't seen this before, we'll let the sun go down. Ignore my frame rate. I'm playing in the editor, so my frame rate's always pretty janky in the editor. If I were to hop in our client, it would be a lot better. Subjective nonsense. Thank you for the follow. I think that can be due to the average age of our viewers. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, it is the whole 35 to 45 plus, so. The game has said, really enjoyed the Robert interview last time. When will be the next special guest? Who will be the next special guest? Ollie? I'm not sure. Honestly, whoever wants to hop on with me. Ollie's out of the country on a little bit of a vacation right now, but he's still like working away, which is, that's so Ollie. Didn't see before. Are there any buildings shown with scaffolding around like they're under construction? Aramisk. We've talked about that here up on this landing and in some other areas. So have that be under construction. And then you'll encounter some of the workers, or maybe you can even sneak in like a worker. You vote for Zukin so I can talk up playing Lizard Playable Race. You know, the guys that stream as well, it would be cool to talk to him and like ask him a bunch of questions. So Zukin and Pattis and Goblin and Birkenstaff, and even though Nick hasn't streamed in quite a while, I'd still count that if we can arrange time for him. That would be a fun one. I think you guys would enjoy that. All right, so now let's go to the zone that I died in. Night Harbor Fields. Forever. You're in the plus section, 48. Yeah, I mean, we do have a decent plus section, right? So it's the like the core kind of is 35, 45, and but then there's a nice kind of long tail that that cast that is the older folks like me and you and other section in terms of size. No, I don't know anything about your size, though. I guess Google probably knows. They could give us that info, but online we are whatever we want to be, right? Unless you're streaming like me, then you get a rough idea of my size. Nicodemus said 52 as of yesterday. What? It was your birthday, Nicodemus? Happy birthday. Holy shit. Where's the emotes? Get some birthday emotes up here for Nicodemus. Where's the... I'm really bad with the emojis. We'll do some of these guys right here. I'm still a young pup. Yeah, even at 48, I'm young. I'm young at heart. I hope. I'm gonna get that check soon. Invulnerability activated. Aggro turned off. MBGT said mid-20s, never played EQ back in the day, but it's always fascinated me. I'm always fascinated by people that love EQ that are under 30. 48 is definitely still young. Hell yeah. Need all the time I can get to finish this game. 48 is the new 30? Yeah, I think I'm probably in many ways in better... You know what? Actually, in all ways, I'm in better shape now than I was when I was 30. Because I realized at 32 that I needed to get in shape because I was not doing very well. I had really bad sciatic problems when I was 32. And that actually was the thing that got me to really start taking my health seriously. Once you hit 50, the wheels fall off in joy. Yeah, I can imagine. I take naps. Anyone have a clip to the anyone linked clip that I was talking about earlier? We've got one somewhere. It's really it's pretty like it's nothing major. He didn't say anything bad. He was just kind of like looked at a few screenshots and was like, don't get it. Naps are the bomb. They're really helpful. I'll take a nap and then wake up and just be energized. When I can get a nap in, I'm really happy. Just 1 hour nap. I do, and Jasmine makes fun of me all the time for this. I do coffin naps. So I lay there, I put my arms like this, across my legs because it's really comfortable. Sometimes I may put my hands in my pockets, but usually I just do this. And then I take my hat and I pull it right over my face. So it blocks out the light pretty good. And bam, I wake up, I'm just pumped. Oh wow, actually I look like I have a muscle there. That's not bad lighting. I'll do that. 48-year-old me, definitely, I put a smackdown on 30-year-old me. Stop drinking 2 liters of Coke and sitting in front of your computer all day. Do some push-ups. You haven't seen this building before? This is the brewery. Oh, I mentioned... I don't want to spoil anything, so everybody shut your ears except for first. I mentioned River. I was talking to Simon and I mentioned first. I was talking to Simon and I mentioned what you'd said about, yeah, exactly, Yar, right? And those guys, they hang out here. We're going to put a dock down here. There's going to be a dock and stuff. And then you're going to be able to encounter some of them up here. This family's like, yep, right, yep. Dock, some Yars. Simon is the man. The older you get, the more Rice Krispie sounds your body makes when you get up in the morning. Oh my god, my knees are horrific. I was testing the stretch on some pants at a hiking shop earlier in the year, and I squatted down, and my wife looked up at the lady that was helping me try stuff on, and she goes, "Don't worry, it wasn't the pants, it's his knees." It was so loud. Have days when I sleep 10 hours and it's 541 and those do strange things to your clock. What do you mean? Like, you wake up at different times? Oh. Wait a second. Somebody up here, I missed it. Bastion Son, Whalen says, I'm 62 and the only problem is conditioning, and that's definitely my fault. Too much KYBD time? KYBD. What is KYBD? I know KY, but I don't know what you're BDing it with. Or, you know what I mean. Keyboard. Oh, keyboard time. Okay. I thought you were doing something weird. Snap Crackle Pop was my karate instructor's nickname for me when I was 25. Now I'm 55. It's a whole new level. I can imagine. I can imagine if you're snapping and crackling at 25. That. Yeah. So guys, we're continuing to work on this, and what's going on? How am I thirsty? And I just summoned water. I'm hungry. Is it not? Is that a bug? I looted my corpse, didn't I? Anyways, then I'll sleep from 10 to 2 and 7 to 8 and then back to bed at midnight. Yeah, I mean, you do what you gotta do. There have been people... I thought there were a couple like historical figures, Albert Einstein, other folks that would just basically, their entire day was like, be awake for 4 hours, sleep for 2 hours, awake for 4 hours, and they were just constantly doing that. First said, Sean, my friend, I put in food, drink just for you, but I always forget what the summon name is. All right, so help me summon it first. We'll wrap this up. Help me summon it. What is it called? GM Food. That's hard to remember. GM Food 1000. GM Water 1000. Okay, I should never need food and water again. Energy drinks and candy. Yep. What is it? Oh, it's hidden under here. So I knew the name, but I wasn't sure if the description was energy drinks and candy. Okay, so this is what Simon's been working on here. That stuff over there. Zone will be quickly coming together. There's some fun stuff going on here. I will get back to propping and populating the Telekir, the Ashira dungeon, tomorrow and Thursday. Don't forget, those of you that were around last week, in the week before, we did some fun brainstorming. You're right, decorating. Sorry, Sparrow. We'll work on some more decorating on Friday, not tomorrow, because tomorrow is the day that the sun comes out for one day, and then it goes back to raining for a week. And so normal stream time is discombobulated this week, but we'll do some more decorating and some NPC placement in that zone, and then we'll see what next week brings. Yeah, so Friday stream. And let's see. I think that's it. Those of you that are new here, be sure to join our Discord. Check out our YouTube. We have. You can skim through. We've got hundreds of videos at this point, like literal hundreds of videos. Zukin, who streams, does character art on video. Pattis, who streams, does environment art on video. Goblin does concept art and some character stuff and a little bit of everything on video. So check those out. There may be a stream for VGFX hidden in there, and Urkin staff maybe on the YouTube.
Great work. Keep it up.
Olgo, thank you very much. Thank you for 4 months. Is the term decorating, or is it considered level design in the game industry? Putting the props in, typically not called decorating. That's a very cute term that we're going to start using thanks to Sparrow. But usually you'll have level designers who may be placing some props depending on like how important they are to gameplay. Your environment artist may be doing some props as well, that type of stuff. Quick Santa, see you on Friday. So it just really depends. There's a fair amount of inconsistency in terminology when it comes to job titles and responsibilities and stuff, Nicodemus, in games. It's getting better though. Later, John. Later, everybody. Let's start. We'll say our goodbyes and then we'll wrap up, and I'll see you Friday. If I forgot anything, if I said I was going to show something, didn't show it, if you want to see something that you see either in the other videos or you see in our updates on the website or whatever, just ask me on Friday. Crowan, good to see you. See you on Friday. Sparrow, thank you for the new term. Have a great rest of your day. I'm going to bed. Aramisk, see ya. Fielder, see ya. Dragon, see you. Dragon Leaf, see you. Zemas, see you. Hope everything's going good for you. Warland, take care. Hyper, yeah, thanks for being here. Glad you popped in. Shmonite, see you. Enoch, see you. Chaz, see ya. Nicodemus, you're very welcome. Always good to see you, buddy, and thanks again for your generosity. Indefinite, see you. Thanks for being here. Boric, see you next week. Off camping the next 4 days. Have fun and be safe. Camping is fantastic. Blue Queen of Dragons, thanks again for your generosity. Appreciate the bits. Brown Butcher, see ya. Rimrock, Swanee, see you guys. Olgo, Choose, Chow, Alfitasan, Choklar, goodbye. Lurking is fine. Kind of you to say goodbye. We got anybody else out there? Cool. Well, then let's wrap it up. I will see everybody on Friday. Have a great tomorrow. Friday's only a day away. And yeah, we're good. Bye-bye.